Hey, me. I'm not having a good day today. But, to be honest, I don't want to tell you why. All I want to tell you is about how having autism is a struggle for me. I'm sorry you can't see my face. I just don't want to share it today. My face. There's so much right now. I've said that so many times, but it's actually true. Every day's a struggle with me. With my autistic brain. Going through a lot. Sorry, I've just repeated myself. That's a bit of autism there. That repeat myself. I'm not saying it. I'll say it. I struggled more than I did now. Because when I was diagnosed, it was only just being talked about. I was kind of like one of the first waves before everyone else came along with coming out with I have autism. Because back then, when I was diagnosed, I only ever knew about 2 other people with it. Okay. With things. Like a normal day at school, for instance. I would get up, as in wake up, and then I would need routine. So I would need to have breakfast at the same time every day. Then I would get dressed, and then I would pack my bag, and then I would walk to school, and then have routine throughout the day. So whenever I was changed to have lunch at a different time, it made me feel uncomfortable and things like that. But I used to be a wanderer. I used to just go in a world of my own and just wander. I didn't care about cars or anything. I had to be literally stopped, as in someone had to walk in front of me to stop me, because I was in my own little world most of the time when I was growing up. Processed things differently back then than I do now. Back then, it was hard because I could handle things, But then, for instance, I thought I could handle going to a theme park. But then once I got there, I could only stay maximum half an hour maybe. Then I'd leave. It was the noise. I couldn't handle the noise. And I would look around at everyone else and think, this is not bothering you? The loudness is not bothering you? Weird. Like, not normal. I used to get bullied a lot, that's why I felt like that. This isn't bothering you. And the lights of the rides, they were blinding. So that's why I could only last like half an hour until I had to, instead of just walking away, I would have to be like, say no, 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 and walk away. I also did the hands over my ears thing. I also screamed. I've accomplished a lot with my autism. Our problems, but like for instance, I don't wander anymore. I actually pay attention to roads and that. I might spill, but I don't spill as much anymore because I managed to know when something is full or not. And if I do put any more in, it will spill. So I realised that. Autism is a social disability rather than something you can see, like somebody in a wheelchair. Because that was my problems most of the time was social. Because whenever I was around a group of people and they were talking about something and I had something to say, I didn't know when to interject. I didn't know when I can say what I want to say. But unfortunately, by that point, subject had changed to something else. So I missed my opportunity to say anything about that subject. I used to put my hand up saying I've got something to say, but nobody was paying attention. So, yeah, so now I still struggle with that actually to today. I still struggle. But now I am purposely interrupt and cough or something to make known that I've got something to say about this subject. I cough or interrupt because I don't know how else to say what I want to say. I am blunt. And you shouldn't have said that button. Then I have the shouldn't have said that button after I've said it. because of people's faces, and I hear quite a bit like the shouldn't have said that. So that's when I'm sorry comes in really handy. Or oops, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry comes really handy. I've used that a lot. I know I repeat myself a lot. So as you can hear, I said so many times. With autism, for me, like I said, it was difficult. I've learned so much. I've learned how to cope a lot. But I've also learned how to mask a lot. Masking is out there. Masking is when we put on our mask, metaphorically speaking. We don't actually wear a mask. But we would put on what we think people want to hear us say or do, and that's us masking. And that's us hiding basically our true selves from whoever we're with. I would say the only people that have seen me unmasked is my best friend, my family, and my support. In front of all my exes, and I even took the mask off today with my support because I had it on to begin with. But no, after a while, I just took it off. It's difficult though, removing that mask, because you're becoming vulnerable, so vulnerable when you take that mask off. Whenever I'm in Blythe or Newcastle, I'm masking. Whenever I see someone, I'm masking, because that's what you do. You say hi, they say hi back, and then, how you doing? I'm fine. What about you? Fine. How's your day been? Good. What about you? Good. And then you just carry the conversation from there. That is masking for me. I don't know about anyone else. Autism affects different people in different ways. Our slogan should be, you met one person with autism, that's one person with autism, we're not all the same. Because I have grown to know a lot, and I know what will trigger me to have what's classed as a meltdown. Meltdowns anymore, much. I do, but if it did, it would bore. I wouldn't know how to stop crying, or I would leave the room or the place for some, just to have a long time. Because that's how I stop myself from having meltdowns, is that I just walk away. I say, I need a minute. But not too far. And then I come back. After I've had my... It might be longer than a minute. It might be shorter than a minute. But I will need some chunk of time to calm down. My calming strategies are walking, where I walk back and forth. I cry. I talk to myself quite a bit. I talk to my diary called Deborah, as in I write down what I want to talk to her about. And I also have friends and family I can talk to. But that's how I cope. I just walk away. Meltdown, I'd be rocking back and forth, crying a lot. I'd want to be left alone. As in no touchy or anything. And that's the thing, I don't know, because I know what my triggers are now. Triggers. Triggers is what I call things that will make me go into a meltdown. Someone saying the wrong thing. Or spending time with somebody I don't like. Or seeing something on YouTube that hurts me to my core. Because I had a meltdown today. So I'm just emotionally drained today. Hell, he doesn't. I wish I know how to edit videos. I regret that. I don't want to. Okay. Moving on. Autism. It's difficult to explain. Time with me to understand my autism. For instance, I'm not going back to gay pride ever again because it's just too loud. I know they had the cut-off area last year, but even then it's still too loud. So I'm not going back. And I've been so many times. Oh yeah, I don't like repetitiveness either. Like doing the same thing over and over and over again. It gets annoying. That's like I never watch Groundhog Day. Disneyland, and I might be wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's autistic friendly. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. And me. I Hoover, my upstairs neighbour hoovering. And back in the day, I would have to stop my vlog until they finished hoovering. But now, I just continue. because there's nothing I can do about it. I can't handle loud noises. So, firework displays are a big no-no. Unfortunately, going to children's parties is a no-no. Unless I wear ear defenders or something. It's the balloons. They can make a sudden pop. And it's the sudden pop that I will scream. Because I've done it before. Screamed when a balloon popped. Can I not do because of my autism? Concerts. That's just me though. Loudness. It's too loud. And the crowds. Now that is a different kettle of fish. I can't handle crowds. The question, because it gets so crowded at a concert. But I can see plays because you get your own seat and you're not that crowded. But I can't see a film because it's too loud. I think because in the cinema, it's all around you. But when you see a play, it's just one person talking. There's barely any background music. It's not that loud. And I think the reason I prefer the theatre to the cinema is you're more involved because it feels like that actor or actress is talking to you. You feel like the only person in the theatre when you watch them. You don't get the same feeling from a film, I don't think. I know a lot about autism. It's just so hard to talk about because it's complicated. Things I can't do because of my autism. But there's so many things I can do. So many things in my life that I didn't think I could do when I was younger. I've performed on stage. I've performed at the Metro Radio Arena. I've performed at Northern Stage. I've performed at Heaton. And I have performed basically I've performed in a lot of places I never thought I'd ever perform in. And I never thought I could do that when I was younger. My confidence has just blossomed since I was young. me sometimes, but other times, like, it gives me a different way of thinking about things. Instead of thinking, I don't know, like an average person would think, is it all right to say? I say it. And then I say, oops, I shouldn't have said that if I shouldn't have said it. But I just say it. Um, Come out and say it, basically. I'm not scared either. If somebody says, do this, and I don't see the danger in it, if I don't see the danger in it, then I'll do it. But if it's something stupid like, I don't know, light your fart on fire, I would definitely say no to that. Because I don't want to burn my arm, burn my bum. But if it's something like, I'm shy, can you talk to this person for me? I do. I go up to that person. Because I used to go to Ireland quite a bit. Because my dad lives there. So every time I'd get the flight with my mum, because that was not that frequent, but when me and mum were to fly together, she always said to me, you always leave the flight with a new friend. Because I'd say hello to my friend that's sitting next to me, to the person sitting next to me. Because that's the kind of person I am. I say hi to everyone. I did that the other day when I went to Ridley Park. I said hello on my way to Ridley Park and on the way back from Ridley Park as well. Because to me, a stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet. That's the way I look at it. It's not like I say, hi, my address is blah. I just say hi. It's up to them if they say hi back. And just a passing hi anyway. It's not really like we stand and talk for 10 minutes. It's just a quick hi. So yeah, I am not afraid. I should be, but I'm not. Because that could be a danger as well. It's got me into trouble a couple of times. More than a couple, actually. Because I'm an open book. I trust instantly. As soon as I know you, I trust you. 100%. But if you trust, I've only realised this just recently, it'll take you a long time to get it back. Before, I would just say, oh, it's that person being that person again. Because they would lose my trust daily, even. But now, no. If they lose my trust now, it's going to take them a long time. And maybe not ever get it back. And it's a daily struggle. I leave the house most days. Because, completely honest, leaving the house. Bumping into somebody I don't like. Scared that something bad will happen. Definitely, I'm just distracted by the telly a lot, so time just flies by. Many plans to actually leave the house, so that's why I stay in. But control what I do in my home, and when I'm out the home, really, for me, that I can't control what I do outside the home. So much right now. For the place. If my mind was a plate, metaphorically speaking, most of the plate would be worrying about granddad. Would be YouTube. I'm not going to detail, but just YouTube. Some of the plate would be my friend Jess, because I worry about her all the time. It should be more, but it's only a little bit. My health. It should be more. My diet. Non-existent diet. There's a lot on my plate. I'm just emotionally drained. I don't know. It's not that I didn't have autism, because if I didn't have autism, I wouldn't be me. So I don't wish that. Wish for anything right now. And it has to be a selfish wish. I don't know. So it has to be for me. A card that never had to pay back but has unlimited just eat on it. Like unlimited. Just eat on that card. And I don't have to pay it back either. That's the one thing I would love to have. I wish I had like a debit card or credit card, they never have to pay back with unlimited just eat on it. Journey so far. To cook to it tomorrow, the next day it'll be different. And 162, I think, of you. Like, comment, subscribe.